It is a religion of peace, submission, and commitment to one God and all He created. It is a way of being, a way of life. It is Islam, and fully 1/5 of people in the world follow this faith. They call themselves Muslims. Hello, I'm Chaplain Dean with the Chicago Police Department. This is the second in a series of videos to expand your knowledge and understanding of the many diverse communities within our city. Having even a basic knowledge of a person's customs and culture enables police officers to conduct their duties in a more efficient and respectful manner. Today, we explore Islam. The Chicago area is home to more than 400,000 Muslims. Many are immigrants from around the world, but many more are second or third or even fourth generation Americans.
For example, within the United States, the largest constituency of Muslims happen to be African American. After that, you have many Southeast Asians, Pakistanis, Indonesians, Malaysians, and then down there, then you have some, Arabs.
And there are Muslims of every stripe, of every color and nationality. There are white Americans who are Muslim, African Americans who are Muslim. There are Russians and Chinese and Japanese who are Muslim. It's very important to keep in mind that Islam is not an ethnicity. It is simply a very basic religious creed.
Muslims believe in one God who revealed Islam through all the prophets, with the final prophet being Muhammad.
Abraham is like the father of the three faiths, they call it, and the Christianity and the Judaism, it's all linked together. We're all of one God.
That is the very definition of Islam, is to submit oneself to the message of God.
We must stand for the protection of life. We stand for law against crime. We stand for morality and obedience to the law.
As human beings who are living in the society, we're very committed to the upliftment of this society. And that we see as definitely a religious obligation.
We bring a strong essence of moral values, family values, social values, notions of justice, notions about community service and social interaction, which are an inherent part of Islam, but which are also very important in the American fabric.
A Muslim place of worship is called a mosque. The imam is the person who leads the prayers. The Islamic holy book is called the Quran, and God is often referred to as Allah.
So the word Allah is nothing other than an Arabic word for God. In fact, many of the Christian population in the Middle Eastern areas, they refer to their God as Allah because it's just an Arabic term for God.
Muslims practice the 5 pillars of Islam. These are witness, affirming the absolute unity of God and accepting the prophecy of Muhammad; worship, offering ritual prayers 5 times a day to God while facing in the direction of the Kaaba in Mecca; charity, obligatory donation annually of at least 2.5% of accumulated wealth; fasting, complete abstinence from food, drink, and conjugal relations from dawn until dusk by able-bodied adults during Ramadan; pilgrimage, visiting the Kaaba and other sites in Mecca at least once in a lifetime. Muslims will conduct their daily prayers privately if possible, or publicly if necessary.
When a Muslim prays, he prostrates or she prostrates him or herself to the ground and puts their head to the ground. And again, it's not a prayer, unless you have seen this before or been around Muslims, that you're accustomed to seeing.
If law enforcement officials, if police officers have to contact some Muslims, it would be best to avoid those times when people are focusing on prayer, especially in public places.
Friday is the holiest day in Islam. Between 12 noon and 2, Muslims gather at mosques for congregational prayers.
Very, very sensitive, the Friday prayers. And the mosque is very, very sensitive. If you have to go in the mosque for a criminal, I beg you to have the same respect you would have for a Catholic church or for a Protestant church.
We don't wear our shoes. We don't wear our shoes onto the actual carpets and the prayer rugs. So that would be considered extremely inappropriate and offensive for example, police officers going in to investigate something or what have you, to walk on the rugs with their shoes. Of course, also there are copies of the Quran oftentimes that are kept in these mosques on bookshelves throughout the mosque area itself. It's considered extremely inappropriate to put that on the floor.
Islam attaches high significance to personal modesty and requires both men and women to dress in clothes that do not emphasize bodily contours. Women are also expected to cover their hair, and many, but not all, Muslim women wear the headscarf known as the hijab for this purpose.
The real purpose is just to notify yourself as somebody who believes in God. And it's really respect for God that you do this for. You have to cover in front of men who are unrelated to you. So I uncover at home, you know, in home environments with family. If I was with a group of women, I wouldn't have to cover.
Police